New research shows young adults are taking longer to graduate, establish careers, and become financially independent.
Well, I can tell you that our first guest believes that the problems start at a much younger age than that. She says there are 5 fundamental business concepts that every elementary school student should master.
Dr. Wesley Carter writes an advice column called Kids by Carter. Kids by Carter. Welcome, Dr. Carter. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we're talking about business and kids. Might sound a little bit weird, but you're talking about some basic things that children should know how to do by a certain age. What age children are we talking about?
Well, by the age of 10, children have the cognitive ability to process, comprehend, and synthesize mature concepts. So by 4th grade, your child should be able to handle basic business transactions.
Okay, and by basic business transactions, what are we talking about? Can you give us an example?
Simple things like making an introduction, teaching children how to use titles and make an introduction, to stand when introduced, to shake hands. Kids struggle with shaking hands. You know, they'll give you the little 4 fingers, but actually the web of your right hand should come into contact with the web of their right hand in a nice firm shake. That's very important, because when we talk about children taking longer to establish careers and establish themselves financially, a large part of that is understanding how business is transacted and understanding the consequences. So managing an introduction, learning to shake hands. You know, something that's really great is financial literacy. In 2003, Northwestern Mutual did a survey with parents. 71% thought that kids should basically begin to learn financial literacy by the 1st grade.
So give us an example of an easy way to start teaching a young child financial literacy, because I'm still struggling with those concepts myself.
Well, yes. Well, we're already teaching them the first step, which is spending, because you see 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds paying for things at the cash register. The other piece of financial literacy, though, is saving and donating and investing. So building that ritual and allowing your children, we do so much electronically, our children don't actually see us making savings deposits. So taking them with you and getting them into that habit, and that we're not saving to buy something big, we're saving for a rainy day. And so getting that ritual, teaching them about interest rates. Do you know that most college students carry about $3,000 in credit card debt? But most college students have no idea of the interest rate. No idea.
I was shocked. I was shocked with that last figure, because that's separate from student loan debt.
Separate. Yes. So what happens? That's a child where didn't learn how to study, that perhaps is not as financially literate as they need to be. Something as simple as ordering from the menu, but not just ordering, but being responsible. So you go into the restaurant and you say, I have $40 to allocate for this meal.
Oh, so let the child keep the budget for the family's meal. What a great idea.
That is a great idea. And again, by age 10, you say,
by age 10. By age 10.
Okay.
One of the harder things, even for adults to master, that you'd want to expose a child to early, would be doing an exchange or a return.
Okay, so you're saying actually let your child go into the store, go up to the register, and make the exchange?
Well, you go with them, you coach them,
right?
And when they go up to the counter, you stand back and let them process that, because that requires cooperative inquiry, that requires problem solving, that requires negotiation. So allowing them to go up there with the receipt and to return the item. Financial literacy, certainly, as it relates to the value of the dollar, and we don't just throw it away or put it in the back of the closet if it doesn't fit. We return it.
And then we also have them doing our dirty work for us, which as a parent is something that I absolutely love.
That's why I had kids. Yeah,
so,
that's right.
So what do you think about an allowance for a small child?
You know, I think it depends on your family and what's your family structure. An allowance requires a lot of structure as a parent. If you're willing to impose that structure, that means you've got to have the rules about what it's spent on. You certainly have to establish the rules on how they're saving, and of course holding them responsible for their expenses and how they manage that. So that works very well for some families. Some families don't do allowances at all, and they just provide money as necessary. But certainly managing an allowance as a young child will certainly help you with that $3,000 of debt that you could avoid in college.
Good advice. Dr. Carter, Dr. Wesley Carter, Kids by Carter is the name of the column. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.